In this lecture, we're going to finalize the comments section by performing the last 3 steps on this list. The 4th step is retrieving the comments when the page loads. The 5th step is to load the comments again if the user submits the form. Lastly, the 6th step is being able to sort the comments. Before getting started, I recommend you submit a few comments to a song. This will help you test the sorting feature. We're going to continue working in the song component file. We want to grab the comments when the component gets loaded, but after a song has been found. Comments won't exist if the song is invalid to begin with. We'll perform the request after the conditional statement in the created_lifecycle function. We're going to call a function called getComments. We could add the logic for retrieving the comments in the created_lifecycle function. However, it's probably best to outsource it into its own function because we already know ahead of time there will be 2 different situations where we'll want to grab comments. The first is when the component is first loaded. The second is when a comment is submitted. It makes sense to outsource the code into a separate function. We'll define the getComments function inside the methods object with the async keyword. Requests are asynchronous, hence the async keyword. We'll make a request for comments right away. We're looking to request multiple comments. The where function on the collection will work in this case. Inside the function, call the commentsCollection.where function with the await keyword. The value returned will be assigned to a variable called snapshots. The where function will be used to help us retrieve the commands related to the song. We stored the ID of the song in a property called SID. Pass this as the first argument to the where function. The second argument will be ==. Lastly, the third argument will be the this.route.params.id property. We're using the ID in the route because we didn't store it in the component. The next thing we'll do is chain the get function to instruct Firebase to initiate the query. We'll loop through the snapshots array to push the data into an array. Currently, there isn't a property for storing comments. Let's define one for that. In the component, create a data property called comments. It'll be an empty array. Back in the getComments function, after the request, we'll reset the comments array to an empty array. We're resetting the comments to make sure we don't have duplicate comments. The request we're making in the function will return every comment. After resetting the array, we can push the documents into the comments array. Call the forEach function on the snapshots array. This function will accept a callback function, which is provided the current document in the iteration. In the function, we'll call the push method on the comments data property. There are 2 properties we'll push into the object. The first is the ID of the comment. We'll create a property called docID. Set it to doc.id. Next, we'll push the data. The data can be accessed by calling the data function on the document parameter. We'll use the spread operator because this will return an object of properties. We want to merge it with the object we're pushing into the array. We're finished with requesting the data and storing it in the component. The next step is to begin looping through the data in the template. In the template, search for a comment that says comments. It can be found under the form. We're going to find an unordered list element. There's a list of dummy comments. We're going to remove every list item element except the first one. We're going to use the list item we left alone as a template. Apply the v_for directive to the list item. The value for the directive will be the following: comment in comments. the key attribute will need to be bound to the comment.docID property. From here, we can replace the static text with its respective expression. Inside the div tag with the class font bold, replace the static text inside with the expression comment.name. Next, below it, there will be a time tag with the class timePublished. Replace the static text with the expression comment.datePosted. Lastly, there will be a pair of paragraph tags inside the list item. Replace the static text with the expression comment.content. We're using the names we gave the properties to access the proper values in the database. You can always check the database to check which names you gave for the values. Let's test if the comments are working. Save your changes. Then, we'll view a songs page in the browser. After a few moments, the comments will appear. If you submitted a few comments, they will be looped through. We've completed step 4. The next step is to load the comments again when a new comment is submitted. We'll take care of this step in the next lecture.